Hello friends, welcome to another video. Today's review is All This Time Blossom Peak series by Harlow James. I am reading it on my Kobo. I did have a better cover picture, but for some reason it doesn't want to show it. I don't know if you can see in the top corner there, All This Time. This one right here is what the cover looks like. I got this as ARC, advanced reader copy. For my reviews, I don't have a blurb to read for this one, unfortunately, because I got the ebook and it doesn't have a blurb like a physical book would. I probably could have looked up the blurb. I didn't think about that in advance. I am so sorry about that, but I will read out the characters for you. So this is small town older brother's best friend romance. The main characters are Lainey and Fletcher. Lainey's brother is named Ronan, and Fletcher is his best friend. They also have two other friends, Henley and Elliot. Lainey's best friends are Dylan and Hazel. Lainey owns a beauty parlor in town. Her employees are Glenn, Yvonne, and Claudia. Lainey and Ronan's dad is named George, and he owns the local winery in the small town of Blossom Peak. And Fletcher's father's name is Luke. Ronan also has a 4-year-old daughter named Ellis, but he lost his wife in childbirth, unfortunately. So Fletcher is a famous football player in the NFL. He always wanted to be. His father was also a football player in the NFL, and he was the high school football coach. And Fletcher's father's name is Luke. I don't remember if I said that already. Anyway, the reason for the story, Elliot, one of the friends, is getting married to a girl named Tori. Fletcher is Elliot's best man, and Lainey is Tori's maid of honor. So Fletcher has to come back to the hometown to deal with the wedding, and of course him and Lainey are thrown together for a lot of things because they're the best man and maid of honor. Fletcher and Lainey also have a history in their past when they were younger. Not a romantic past, just a friendship that was kind of a secret. Now, I'm not going to get into spoilers. I'm not going to do that. I really don't want to. It took me only a couple days to read this book. I absolutely devoured it. I loved it. I loved the way the writing was. It is obviously based in our world, but a fictional city. Blossom Peak does not exist. I feel like I really loved the story. The chapters jump back and forth between first person between Lainey and Fletcher, which I really loved. Oh, I should also mention that this is a spicy book. It is adult 18 plus for sure. There are several spicy scenes. Obviously, it is starts off. Since it's a standalone, I would say it's a slow burn romance, but I was about halfway through the book before the first spicy scene. It is interconnected. There are 3 other books that have to do with the other boys, so each of the boys gets their own little love story. This is Fletcher and Lainey's, and then there's one for Ronan and Henley and Elliot. I don't know what order they're supposed to be read in, but this is the one I received, so I am doing it now. I believe it comes out in November or late October. I forgot to look that up. I also have that information. I will look it up right quick. Where am I looking that up? That would be helpful if I knew where I was going, right? Anyway, as I'm trying to do this on my phone while I am, I can't concentrate on two things at once, guys. I'm sorry. Trying to remember all my passwords. Review, oh no. Where's the actual, that's not what I'm looking for. Releasing on October 10th. All This Time by Harlow James. So yeah, I got an advanced reader copy. Obviously, I really enjoyed it. Let's go back to so I can see what I'm doing. You guys could see me that whole time while I was looking up my email to find out when the book was being released. Anyway, I don't know what order to read them in. I feel like it was pretty evenly paced. Like there's some slow spots and some fast spots. Some of the chapters go back in the past, so we get to see Lainey and Fletcher's history together from each point of view, and the things that happened to them in the past and why they're at this point now in the future. It is 12 years since a specific time, like when Fletcher graduated high school. Fletcher and Ronan graduated high school, and now it's 12 years in the future at Elliot and Tori's wedding, and a whole bunch of things happen. So obviously we see Fletcher and Lainey's story because that is the main story, but we also hear about Ronan's story and Elliot's story, obviously with Tori. And it's sort of a growth story for the boys as well, Fletcher, Ronan, Henley, and Elliot, for their friendship and how it grows and changes. And of course, we see Lainey and her best friend Dylan, and Hazel is one of her friends from out of town. But she's still important. And then her coworkers, they do all have small minor parts in this story. But yeah, it's them dealing with each other and learning things about what happened in their past and how they are now and falling in love, and there's a whole bunch of little things going on in the background, but of course everything gets wrapped up. I did actually cry a little bit near the end of this book. There are some very emotional things that are going on between the boys and their dads. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to do spoilers. But I do like that is part of it as a lesson that it is okay for men to have feelings and to acknowledge them, because that is important. It's also sort of a story about how it's never too late. Don't certain things happen at certain times in your life, like maybe they weren't meant to get together when they were teenagers and it was meant to happen now, kind of thing. But it is a happy ending, and there is a small epilogue for us to, like, in the, it's like a month or two in the future, about how things are going for them. And there was a link at the end of the book for another epilogue that I didn't click on, so I didn't read that one. But anyway, that was good. I would definitely give it a 4 out of 5 stars rating. It totally exceeded my expectations. I absolutely loved the characters. I did find it to be a page turner. Like I said, I read it fairly fast. You can see that the characters are complex and have multiple levels. They felt very relatable. There are parts that actually, there was very few parts that I didn't like in this book. I found it a fairly easy read, but there are parts that are hard to deal with. I don't know if she'll have actual trigger warnings in but in the book when it gets released, but I would definitely say there are trigger warnings to do with grief and loss and abuse. I don't want to get any more into that without doing too many spoilers. I do highly recommend it when it comes out on the 10th. You should definitely check it out. It's available. Obviously, I got it on my Kobo. I don't know if that's because I got an ARC version, but it's digital, so it'll be available on Kindle as well as physical books. I really hope you liked that review. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.